Hello everyone, Pro here. Welcome to the finale of my Let's Play of Fire Emblem 6, The Binding Blade. And I wish I could tell you that we're about to fight the strongest boss in this game, right? Because based on like the trajectory of the Binding Blade, right, and what you've seen, right, you would think, oh, okay, this is probably going to be a very challenging final boss, right? And well, no such thing happens, so that's just a shame. But hey, I still like the story of it, right? Like, even though the gameplay ends on a flat note, I still like the story very much, right? I still like the morality of Idun basically being a weapon of war. Like she had her soul, her heart, everything. Just like they destroyed it. The dragons destroyed that so that she could make she could basically be a weapon for war. And it really sucks because obviously like the divine dragons are very powerful, right? But because they don't really fight, well, they got taken advantage of, right? It's like realistically, Idun probably like if the divine dragons would have stayed and fought like their own dragon kind, they probably would have like beat their ass, right? But because like the divine dragons like didn't fight them, they all kind of like left Idun to suffer. So that really sucks. Like it's one of those things where like there's just so much moral dilemma to it, right? Like I feel like I can definitely get more into it. In fact, I will after the ending credits. But yeah, like it just goes to show you, man. Like just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. It's just you know, the dragons. Like I get it. They were fighting for survival and they were desperate. And like I guess you can say from a certain perspective they were right in doing that, right? But because like yeah, that was about to hand them victory. But no, overall it's still messed up because they sacrificed one of their own very coldly, and Zephio's over here like, oh, I'm gonna give the world to these guys, and it's like, no, bro, you suck. You're giving the world to just bastards too, you know, even though they're not really all that hateful. And well, let me just get this out the way real quick. Yeah, this is I love the presentation of this battle. Look at that. Like I love that sprite. I love the battle theme. It's so tragic, and like there should be so much more weight to this, but like it just falls apart on his face. Like look at this. I just cheesed the final boss. Like it's just so stupid. Like ah man, like just a disappointment. Honestly, like I really hate the final chapter. I hate how disappointingly easy this is, and realistically, I'm looking at it like the binding blade should not be effective here. Like in fact, I would if the concern was that this battle was going to be too hard, I would say just get rid of the dragons or make the stage just a little bit bigger so that like you can get like ambushed by dragon reinforcements from the back, right? And then just go to town on Idun. And if you want to make her a little bit stronger at the expense of not giving her 2 range, like I'm okay with that, you know, like because she only has 1 range anyway, so it's like I would definitely buff her stats and then just only keep her at 1 range just to kind of like rein her in a little bit, right? Like that's what I would personally do because like she can still move anyway. Like she has 3 moves, so like you know, like even if you try to cheese her, like she could probably still like do a lot of damage if they made the final boss like any good. But again, that's just my opinion on things. Like Idun is the worst boss in all of Fire Emblem history. Like not because like she's bullshit, not because like you know, like it's unfair, but just because it's so easy. Like it's very like it just feels like a formality to get to the final like chapter or to get to the end credits, and it's just like, oh, that just sucks. How deflating, right? It's like this game has showed you like, hey, like this game has kicked my ass multiple times throughout this playthrough, and then at the very end it just drops the ball, like, and it's just so disappointing. Like I get why they kind of did it, right? Because like ideally you don't want your players running out of divine weapons and then like they get soft locked, right? Especially like with if the binding blade didn't do effective damage there, right? Like say you only have like 3 binding blade usages left, and then like your divine weapons are low and all that stuff, right? Then yeah, like it would probably be you would probably be in a situation where you couldn't win, right? And that sucks too. Like don't get me wrong, that's bad game design. Like if you can make it to like where your players can't win, so like it's a dilemma. But like look at Roy over here. He's like he's basically like he's just like, oh, he's all infatuated with Guinevere here, right as in front of Lelina too, and Lelina just goes with it. So it's like maybe, you know what? Like I always say, Roy's intelligent, right, man? Like who knows? Maybe he was trying to like sow the seeds for a threesome or something. I don't know. Like that's pretty bold of him to like just be like, oh yeah, like Guinevere is like the most beautiful like woman I've ever seen in my life, and Lelina's just like, yeah, true. It's just as opposed to getting jealous, right? Like fair enough, I guess. Even though like they're gonna get married, so yeah, that you know. But hey, like I guess that just goes to show you how much of a horn dog that Roy is, because I think out of everybody, like pre-Robin, right? Like I think he has like the most possible pairings like to end up with, right? And well, obviously Robin can like marry whoever because that's your insert character. So you know that's there you go. So but yeah, no, this is I really like the ending of this. Like I like the true ending a lot because I feel like it just kind of rectifies everything. Like it just makes everybody whole in a sense. Like I mean, obviously this whole thing could have been avoided if Hartmut would have just killed Idun, right? But you know, like that's not the right. Technically looking at it, like that was not the right thing to do, right? Obviously, like Hartmut was very much right in like sealing up Idun, right? Like because he didn't want to kill her because like she wasn't the problem, right? Like it was just the people that like or the dragons that gave her the orders, and then obviously like Zephiel gave her the orders to like basically give the world back to the dragons, right? And that's through no fault of her own. It's just like she can't control herself. So but yeah, it's pretty cool that like they basically bring her back to Arcadia and like they're able to like just restore that. And you know, I like that line too right there, right? It's like this dude was like, oh man, he meant well. This old dragon guy, like he meant well and he did what he thought was best. But obviously, like we look at it and it's like, no, you should have fought for Idun. you should have went after her like the second you knew like the enemy had captured her. So yeah, like it just goes to show you, right? It's like you could be I guess you can say the divine dragons were just like they didn't want to get involved, but in a sense like because they exist, right? They're also responsible for like the events that they couldn't stop, you know? Like if you have the power to stop something and you don't do it, technically you are responsible for it, right? Like just for example, right? Like all of us, we have a responsibility in this world, right? Like because we exist. And like hold on, I'm against that point again, but like yeah, I really like this line, a warm breeze. Like I like the implications that like maybe it was just a random warm breeze, or maybe it was like Hartmut just like, you know, like his essence out there, like, or his whole spirit or energy, right? Just communicating to Idun, and like that's pretty cool. I like shit like that, you know. I like the symbolism of that. It's like I want to insert my own headcanon to be like that was the spirit of like Hartmut just like coming through and being like you know, I'm glad they saved you, like essentially. So there we go. Like see, and this is what makes the story so satisfying, right? When the hero rights the wrong that was initially done, right? Like Hartmut did the right thing by sealing her up, but obviously Roy like took it a step further and not only like sealing her back up and not killing her, but also to get her to Arcadia to get help and stuff too. So like there you go. Like hopefully like the continent like can you know, just continue and be peaceful, but obviously war is hell, and like there's always going to be another mutant, you know. Zephiel was like Zephiel was one of one for sure, like in the type of mutant that he was, but he's not the only mutant. Like there's definitely more. Like I mean, technically I guess you can say we killed the last mutant in the story with Jan, right? Because like he was definitely like yeah, he would have subjugated like the world like against humans. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I really hate that like the Dragon Gate exists in FE7 because there's no mention of it here, obviously, and it's just like I think it kind of goes against everything too of this story. Like it's just like oh, like if they would have made mentions of like, oh hey, let's go open up the Dragon's Gate or whatever, and like just that line alone would have made the prequel a little bit better. It's like obviously like You know, like they didn't take into account like the Dragon Gate, right? Because it didn't exist in this game, right? So that's what I mean by like when I say FE7 is a terrible prequel. Just like there's so many things like you have to ignore in order for that story to make sense. But it doesn't matter. The gameplay is phenomenal. So like that's all I care about. Like at that point, right? It's like I'm not gonna like get mad about like a story of like a game that came out like over 20 years ago, or almost 20 years ago, I should say. Like it's. Besides, like I said, I can rewrite it a little bit better, you know. Definitely stay tuned for that one. But yeah, like again, man, I was gonna make a point with like Idun, but I forgot it. Like, oh no, I think I pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything. You know, it's like obviously like art meant well, and then we made everything right. So. But yeah, like getting I guess to that point, like after that I was talking about before the credits rolled. Yeah, we all do have a responsibility in this world, right? Like even if it may not be by choice, but we are participants like in this world. We have the ability to influence the world as we see it, right? Which funny enough is actually like let me pull up my quote that my good buddy, my good friend Carlos, shout out to him, like wanted to share with y'all. He said, "Become the change that you want to see in the world and watch your world begin changing," right? We're always trying to have, it always feels like we're trying to be like, oh, you know, somebody will take care of it, right? Like somebody will come out there and like do the thing and like, you know, the world won't end because somebody will stop it, right? Like, or like, you know, but we all know that's bullshit. Deep down, we all know that's bullshit. Like, if you look at history, you see all these great empires that have, you know, the there's so many great empires before us, right? That have risen and fallen, you know, because they thought they were untouchable, and they thought like, of course we're the best, like nobody can stop us, like we're unstoppable. But like every great country, like every great superpower falls, and you know, like but we as human beings have the capacity to just change everything, right? We have just through our own like actions, like right now, like my own words, right? Like here's what I want to like tell you guys, like specifically for my end, right? Is that no matter whatever is in your heart, follow it. That's really like the best thing I can tell you on here, right? Is whatever is in your heart, you follow it, right? Because as I mentioned like earlier in this playthrough, I ended up quitting my job, right? It was very unsatisfying, and I felt stuck there, and I felt like my only option was to like continue climbing the ranks. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a good paying job, right? But that was like the only benefits to it, right? It was a good paying job, and realistically, I wasn't making as much as I should have anyway, right? Like that's a whole nother conversation, right? But with the exploitation of like everybody, right? Like how we're exploiting our own people in order to profiteer, right? But again, that's another point I can make at another time. What I'm saying specifically for you guys is like whatever is in your heart, like follow it. Like whatever creativity like comes into your mind, whatever gifts you have, use them. You know, like live your life on your own terms, right? Don't live your life to the terms of this world, right? Because this world doesn't know what it's doing. Like I'll just tell you this, like for as smart as we are, right? Like a lot of this is just like we're making it up as we go. You know, like you look at things and like how we've evolved as a society, like from you know, like in just a matter of years. Just look at how things have changed, right? Just cultural changes, and like people are like tired of you know, being treated like they're garbage, right? And realistically, your life doesn't have to be that way. Like you have the capacity to change your life and live your life on your terms and do whatever makes you happy, right? Like, or even beyond that, whatever gives your life meaning and purpose. Like that's something that you know, like that's how we should be living our lives, if that makes sense. You know, like I understand, like I might be a little bit scatterbrained with this, and I'm not like making my points as clear as I should be, but like, and on top of that, like you might not even understand what I'm saying too, because you don't have the perspective for it, right? And again, fair enough. Like, hey, that's how I was too, right? Like, if I had this perspective the whole time, right, I would have been a YouTuber from the moment I turned 18, you know, like, or possibly even sooner, honestly. Like, if I had like the perspective I had now, obviously, like, I would have been done this YouTube thing, and I would have definitely lived a different life, right? But again, I'm not complaining. Like, I love my life. I genuinely enjoy everything that I do, and you know what? Like, yeah, I'm living in like the best days of my life. So like, and I hope it shows too. Like, cause that's what I'm trying to do here. Is I'm also trying to show off a lot of positivity and bring a lot of like warmth to your guys' life, right? Like, this let's play. Like, this is cool and all, but obviously what I want to do is like I want to start a self-care channel, a self-care channel, and also what I want to start is just another like channel for my creativity, like specifically for non-let's play purposes, right? Like, I like to do a lot of like scripted content, but I feel like if I put it on this, like this is just like a fun like idea channel that I have now at this point, right? It's like if this one makes it and blows up, fine, that's cool. Like, I thank you guys very much for doing that. But like this channel is just like for me to show off games, right? Because as an aspiring game developer, like not only is it going to be nice to share my favorite games with you guys, it's also going to be nice to get your input on it as well. Like, obviously you guys love these games just as much as I do, or possibly even more. Who knows, right? And I would love to get your perspective on these. You know, it's like, so that way I can be like, hey, like, what's like, give me like good ideas so that I can implement them in my game and pretty much make the best possible game I can make, right? Like, that's, you know, just, and that's what I mean, right? Like, my life has changed so much, like, in this year. It's crazy, right? Like, I'm basically following my dreams, right? Like, not to say that my dreams are to be like a game developer or become rich and stuff like that. Like, all that stuff is gonna happen as a consequence of like what I'm actually doing, right? And yeah, like, though, like, yeah, everything that comes my way will be because I'm living the way I want to live my life, right? Like, if one door closes, another one opens. That's how you gotta live your life, you know. So, you know, that's what I said. Like, if there's something you want to do, go out there and do it, right? Because like, here's the thing. You have to get in there and start sucking from the jump, right? So that you can get better. Like, if you don't believe me, look at my earlier videos. Like, cause God, man, like those are some pretty bad videos. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I look back at them now and like I cringe now because like I've gotten that much more better, and like that's good. You know, like, it should be like, that's how it should be, right? In fact, throughout this playthrough, like, I've gotten better as well. Like, I tried to implement the self-care and like the gaming, and it just did not mesh well. And I eventually dumped it and focused completely on the game. And now I feel so much like I'm doing much more better work, and my work is only continuing to improve. So there you go. That's hopefully that's what I can leave you with. You know, like there's just there's so much I can like talk to you guys about. But again, you know, it doesn't have to be all right now. Like there's no rush, right? So yeah, join me next time for my next game, Fire Emblem 7, you know, the Blazing Sword, or the Blazing Blade, or whatever the hell it's called. You know, like, it never got an official like translation out here because they just called it Fire Emblem, as all of you know, right? But yeah, what I'm gonna do in that one is I'm gonna do a Hector hard mode ranked run, right? And I'm also gonna do a Lin mode as well, because I figured I might as well show off the entirety of the game, right? That's personally what I want to do. Like, and I have to do Lin mode anyway to show off, like, if I want to show off the entirety of the game. That's just the way it's structured. And on top of that, you know, doing the ranked run, like, you know, because of the way that the ranked certain chapters work in the ranked run, like, it's not properly coded, and like, well, it's just gonna be harder to do it. So, you know, I'll take those trade-offs. But yeah. Thank you very much for watching, especially if you watched since the beginning. I very much appreciate all of you. Shout out to the Goon Platoon. Shout out to all my friends. Shout out to my new subscribers. Like, I love y'all, and thank you for thank you for watching me. Seriously, like, I can't express to you how grateful I am that you guys are choosing to be here. So, with that said, like, let me not waste any more of your time. I will catch you on the next time, and yeah. Give me a like if you enjoy what I do, and come join me on this journey of where I'm going in my life. Like, thank you very much. Take care of yourself and have a great day.